Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Office Bloke Daz. I'm joined today with two new faces.
I'm Declan.
And I'm Dylan.
Declan and Dylan. They're here for a reason. What they want to do, they want to talk about something that's a massive achievement which they're going for. What is it, a tri-ultra?
Yeah, so we called it the Tri-Ultra Relay. So it's essentially a three-stage triathlon where three of us are going to be taking each stage on. I mean,
what are the three stages?
Well, I think maybe we start with yours.
This one starts off with an English Channel swim, obviously over the English Channel, England to France, and then from there, one of our friends, George Creed, who can't join us today.
How far is the swim from England to France?
The swim, you get credit for 21 miles. It's a 21-mile gap, but you end up swimming about 26 miles with the currents.
You swim round, what do you do, swim in a curve?
You swim a big C shape almost, yeah.
Right.
So you're just kind of matching the timing of the currents.
Get dragged around by the tides.
That's it.
What you're going to kind of expect in a conditions of swimming the channel? What's the temperature of the water going to be like? Is it certain conditions?
That's the hardest thing that you're going to face really, is the cold. And say with my test swims, the thing that I've struggled with the most has definitely been the cold. You know, the temperatures you're looking at can range anywhere from 14 to 18 degrees.
Centigrade,
yeah, which doesn't sound too bad, but in the water, that's freezing.
Yeah, and how long do you think you're going to be in the water for? How long?
Estimate, I think the average is about 15 hours, so probably looking around 15 hours swimming.
And do you stop for anything? Is any sort of stopping for? Obviously, you've got to eat or drink.
Yeah, so it's all energy gels, water. You'll stop some vitamins and things like that to take on board. Things like magnesium, stop your muscles cramping up.
It depends what you call stopping, because you're not getting on the boat.
Yeah, you can't touch the boat.
No touching the boat. You're getting fed by people chucking it at you in the water.
Thing is as well, a lot of the time, depending on which way the currents are going at the time, when you stop, they could be pushing you along, but they could also be pushing you back. So the longer you're stationary for, that could be dragging you back in the water. So you're actually losing.
But you're hoping it pushes you on a little bit, aren't you?
Oh, it pushes you on.
So you get a little bit of benefit from it.
Yeah, well, we just did a 10-hour swim on
2 days ago.
Yeah, 2 days ago.
So when you say we.
Well, I did a 10-hour kayak, so it was a little bit. Yeah, I say we.
Do you want another one of these gels?
Basically asleep, just following the car.
Yeah, it was a good trip though, to be fair. So we went down to Sidmouth, which is Channel Waters.
Right.
So we were down there.
Where's that? Is that like Cornwall sort of area?
Devon. Yeah, south of England.
Yeah, so we're right down.
What sort of training are you putting into it for you for the swim?
Swimming.
Not getting past these guys. Comedy as well as athleticism. What sort of training are you putting in? Like, you're doing like 2 hours a day? You're doing 6-hour blocks?
So it varies. It tends to be, I've got a technical session which is focusing more on technique. That tends to be once a week, and that'll probably last an hour to an hour and a half.
Doing that in a pool?
Yeah, doing that in a pool. And then I've got my power sessions where it's things like paddles and fins and working on power and drive movements and things like that. And then there'll be a couple of the sessions in between usually, and then usually it's once a week is my long swim, distance swim, which is where that's what I've been training for about a year now for it. So as the years progressed, it started off at a 1 hour, then a 2 hour, then a 4 hour, and it kind of just kept slowly graduating the volume. And the reason behind that really is just injury prevention more than anything. Getting used to the distance, building up your stamina, and so we're just in our 10 hour, which will be the longest training session I'll do.
What's the main obstacle going to be? Obviously the time and the energy you're going to need to swim the channel. Are you sort of like expecting any obstacles to get in your way? Like, is there anything in the ocean that shouldn't be? You need to avoid.
There's a few jellyfish.
There's no like sharks or anything, is there? Obviously, so you get like jellyfish.
You'll be alright in the UK waters.
Yeah,
the jellyfish.
You get a few basking sharks, but they can't hit you.
Yeah.
Jellyfish is the biggest one. So it's inevitable that you're going to get.
Do you have to wear some kind of wax or anything like, or like cream to keep anything at bay?
Well, not really. Just Vaseline.
Vaseline.
Yeah, Vaseline's the only thing, and that's just to stop you from chafing. Really, jellyfish stings. There's no swerve in it.
I'm just gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah, you deal with it. Yeah.
How many people are on the boat when you're?
So we've got a team of 5, I think it was on the boat. So we've got our coach, videographer. Well, you're not going to be on the boat. He's going to be waiting for us. My wife as well, Kevin, and her dad, so father-in-law. And that's what the team's going to be made up of. So just a few people. Everyone's got different roles. People prepping feeds for me. Like I said, we need to make them as quick as possible when you're getting calories in you and energy and carbohydrates and things like that.
A medic.
You got a number?
Hopefully we're
also, we've got the guys in the boat as well, the pilots of the boat, and that's what they're trained to do.
Yeah.
They're trained to be keeping an eye on. They know what to look for. And also we've got the CSA. What do you call them? Like official, which is someone who's going to be essentially overwatching the whole thing to make sure that it's official swim.
Oh, okay. So they sort of like dictate whether what things you can and can't do against
it
to make it illegal sort of like.
That's to make sure there's no cheating, because you could pay the boat guys who hold on to the bat the whole way, and then that's it. You get the.
You did it in what, 4 hours? Wow, impressive.
Exactly. Yeah. So they come out essentially the referee. Yeah.
Right. So that's the new swim the channel. So let's say, for instance, you start swimming on the Friday. Is it a set time you go? Is it a morning time? Is it an evening time?
It could be any time, and you only get 6 hours notice as well. Which for us as well, it's a 4-hour drive. So
there's actually a 2-week window for the swim. So we don't know what day we're going to start this challenge.
Right.
And as you said, we're going to be given 6 hours notification before he has to be ready to go.
And where do you swim from?
So it's a place called Folkestone, which is just next to Dover, and then you swim to Cap Grisnez, which is just by Calais, and that's actually the shortest gap between England and France.
Yeah, it's quite busy crossing at the moment for migrants as well. I see these lot of migrant boats coming across.
Yeah,
so you probably see quite a few on the way.
Probably a good chance as well, because they'll be coming down the same sort of section, which is you kind of get your own lane that you need to stay within.
It's quite a busy shipping lane as well.
It is,
it's the busiest in the world, shipping lane in the world.
Well, I was going to say that you've got the busy shipping lane there coming through, and obviously they're going to be. I guess your pilots of the boats know how to sort of like coordinate.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the passageway through.
That's all down
to make it safe. And how many people have ever swum the channel?
I think through the CSA it's just over 2,000.
So not a lot, really, is it? It's quite.
That's all time as well. So more people have climbed Everest, and I believe as well. Don't quote me on this, but I think more people have gone to space than swum the channel as well.
Really?
Yeah, that's something I read in a book as well.
Huh, that's mad, right?
Yeah.
So it's quite a big achievement just swimming the channel, and then once you get to the other side. Is it hand over to you, Dylan?
No. So it goes to our friend George Creed. As we said, he couldn't be here at the moment, but
is he Apollo's Creed kid?
He's got that warrior. He's got that fight in him. He's got that dog. But no, he kind of got binned the run about 3 months ago. So he's had. He took the challenge on.
Is he a runner?
He's a fighter. So he's mainly. Specialised in MMA, so he's had a fair few fights, done pretty well there.
I'll take back what I said about him then. I'll take that back.
But no, fair play to him. He took on the challenge. Funny enough, it's quite hard to find people that are willing to run 50 miles.
Right.
Yeah, with very little training. So the whole reason that happened was because our other friend was supposed to do. Yeah, Finley was supposed to do the run. But due to work and training during that, he can't get the time off.
Right.
So George stepped up to the mark, and then he's going to complete that. So where you finish your swim in France, George's going to meet him there. He's going to run 50 miles to the French-Belgian border.
Right.
That's where he'll meet me.
Now, is that how long will that take him?
He's probably going to be looking at about 13 hours.
Right.
13 hours of running.
That's quite a way though, isn't it? So I guess he's got the route planned out, which he's running.
Yeah.
And he's running similar terrain. I mean, it's not very mountainous region, is it? It's
quite
low lying.
Yeah, no, which is great, seeing as he's got 3 months of training. So I mean, no, thank God it's not that mountainous. But he's definitely got a big fight to get through that, especially with the training that he's had.
Any kind of sports where you're doing for like a long distance of time, he's going to be draining both mentally, physically, emotionally. There's a lot of emotions going into it.
To be honest, I think it hits a point where the physical side of it just hits a limit, and then it just becomes mental.
It's all a mental game, exactly.
So you just you're going to hit your limit, your wall, but before halfway.
Yeah.
And you're going to be feeling it.
Yeah. Are you doing any kind of mental training for what you're doing, or is it just like physical training at the moment?
To be honest,
I guess there's a lot of mental training. If you're swimming practicing for 11 hours,
I think that's the main thing. That's what I found is like when I was on my 10-hour swim the other day, and that was the hardest swim I've done to date. And that was obviously the longest as well, but it was cold, freezing cold. The only thing you want to do is get out. I think the hardest thing then is there's no reward at the end of it.
Yeah.
It's like you're swimming it, and it's just a training session. So you're swimming essentially an ultra marathon, just to get out and carry on with your day, and nothing. You've not achieved anything yet.
So when you're swimming for 10 hours, what kind of distance are you doing?
So it was 25 kilometres I did the other day, which was, to be fair as well, I feel like that pace could definitely increase.
Yeah.
Just because obviously there's no.
It was more of a feeder session, wasn't it?
Well, that's what the thing is as well. It was a feeder session, and also it's like there's no coastline that you're looking at. There's no distance. You're not trying to get somewhere. It's just staying in the water for that long.
Yeah.
So it's almost when you're in those dark times, you know that increasing the pace isn't actually going to help you.
Yeah.
So that's always in the back of your head as well. Where I think that drive over the channel will be, I can see a French coastline. And it's like, right, if I speed up the pace, I'll get there quicker. I can get out of this cold water quicker. Whereas I think then I knew I was in there for 10 hours. It was going to be 10 hours, and that was it. And essentially, one of the main things that you need to do is conditions of the cold water. And that's definitely what's going to benefit you the most if you can hack the cold. And I said to Dylan the other day, I think I'd rather do an extra half of the distance in warm water.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense. How are you preparing for the cold water other than going in the sea? Are you doing any like ice baths?
Ice baths and things like that. I was looking at going into one of the cryo chambers before I started, and doing things like that. But the best training you can do is definitely getting into the sea for long periods of time.
Yeah.
And that's the only time where it's really going to long term benefit you.
What about any kind of like? I guess they won't give you that call unless the weather's perfect for doing this, right?
You need the right conditions, and I think I'm pretty sure it's anything less than 5 foot waves. So that'd be pretty rough. 5 foot waves, swimming up and down. Yeah,
it's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah.
So you get to France. George gets on the bike. George runs 50 miles to Belgium. And then hand over to you, Dill, yeah?
Yeah, then it's hand over to me. So then I've got a 200-mile cycle from French-Belgian border along the coast.
So you got the easy...
absolutely. Well, to be honest, I didn't really have a choice. I wasn't really a cyclist before this, but I love the challenge. And
you've had a good year to train as well, haven't you? So,
So I mean,
you weren't before, you are now.
Yeah, exactly. I'll probably pick the more expensive one. Actually, no, maybe not. The boat was pretty. The boat costs a lot. But I mean, to be honest, the whole training. When we talk about the mental side, I mean, thankfully we have quite a good coach, and from the start, he's always said we're training alone. So we've trained alone throughout this entire time. Every session's been alone because realistically, even though we have a support crew there, we are trying to do this by ourselves, and we're only going to meet them for feeding, so we don't have to carry, because there's a lot of food and water that needs to be carried for the event. So that's realistically what the support crew are there for. So all the training's been alone, because on the day that's where we are. We have to learn. We have to learn how to deal with that struggle by ourselves without the support of someone being next to you. So in the swim, when you swim in a group, it's a lot easier because you take the draft of exact same in the cycling. Cycling's a lot easier when you're in a group. But
and also just a pacemaker, someone else to swim with, keeping alongside. Someone to set the pace. And it's dark when you're by yourself. That's the you hit the dark points and it's just you in the water, especially. That's the other thing. One of us is going to be doing it through the night because the whole challenge is going to take a couple of days, 48 hours really. So, one of us is going to be going through the night, and that's the thing. Swimming in the dark, you can't see anything, you've got a light shining at you.
Yep.
Water's freezing cold, and that's to set the scene.
It's an amazing sort of like achievement once you do complete it, or if you complete it, which I'm sure you will. It's a massive achievement, isn't it? Something to look back on.
Yeah.
What's when you're on your bike, Dill? When you're cycling them 200 miles, is it exactly 200 miles you're doing?
It's exactly 200 miles we're doing.
So 200 miles you're doing. What do you have in support as far as that goes? Have you got a car following you?
Yeah, so I'm gonna have a car support following me, and realistically, the support comes from just giving me the food.
Yeah.
Food and water.
Yeah.
That's essentially what the vehicle's there for. They're not going to be like driving alongside of me. I'm not going to be beside them, behind them.
What kind of food are you taking on board?
So to be honest, it's mostly gels. Solids are solid foods, so like flapjacks and whatnot. They're really good because it helps kind of stabilise your stomach, because gels are acidic. They tear away at you.
Yeah, the other side of it as well is it could be I'm going to ask this question because a lot of people might be thinking about it as well. What about toilet breaks?
Yeah, well, you got a bush.
You stop and just go in the bush, do you?
Bush and a leaf. Bucket and
chuck it type thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
The out and carry on sort of thing.
Yeah, that's it.
Let the French waters clean away the
absolutely.
Debris.
Even though it's a set route, I mean, in my head, I want to do this as quickly as possible. I mean, we're talking about us here, but the whole reason we're doing it is for charity. So.
What sort of timing are you talking about in your 200-mile bike ride? What sort of?
We're looking at about 14 hours roughly of cycling straight.
What sort of like? I mean, swimming. I can imagine your muscles are going to be killing you when you finish. Imagine the muscle sort of like impact it's going to have is going to be draining. Your brain's going to be drained. You're going to be very emotional, exhausted. On a bike, you sat on like a small little
a saddle. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of numbing cream. And we don't want to know where that goes. It's
nothing he's not used to, though.
Yeah. Have you got some, not volunteering it, by the way, have you got someone to rub it on for you?
Yeah, my girlfriend loves me. I don't know if she loves me that much. But, numbing cream, but it's gonna definitely take me through the most of it.
Yeah. But, it's going to be very very challenging now. Obviously, we're just touching on there. You're doing this for a charity.
Yeah.
What charities are you
supporting? So we're doing this for two charities. So the one, we're quite young guys, and we also have friends that have suffered like pretty drastically with mental health issues. So we've gone for two. We've gone for the Basement Project, which is a charity that's local to us that support young adults under 25 who are like facing homelessness, having troubles with family, They have a food bank to provide food for
mental health issues as well, depression,
struggling mental health issues. And another one is My Black Dog, which is an online-based peer-to-peer support. So all the counsellors that are on that have gone through mental health struggles themselves. So you're talking to someone that's been there and has gone through that kind of dark time. So I mean, we're talking about the mental struggle that we're going to go through during this challenge, but in the back of it's deeply ingrained in the back of my head at the moment that realistically what I'm going to be facing through that challenge is it's temporary. Whereas a lot of people that are suffering with mental health, this is a day in, day out feeling that it eats away at a person, and it leads to, especially in men, as most people will know, high suicide rates in men. So even though we're the ones partaking in this challenge, we're doing it for people like our friends that have gone through it
to benefit others.
So at the end of the day, what we're going to be going through, the pain that we're going to endure is temporary, but
hopefully to go out to help a great cause.
Absolutely.
And men's mental health at the moment is it's big in the it's getting a lot of traction, isn't it? For people trying to help, people trying to sort of see where problems lie. The world's gone crazy at the moment, as we know. There's all kinds of shit going on. You look at stuff and you think, wow, you can see the effect it may have on certain people. But
without doubt.
Two great charities there that you're. How much are you looking to raise?
Wow.
Is it a target number or as much as possible? Obviously,
as much as possible. We're aiming for 10,000.
Yeah, so we've set that as a target. Yeah.
We want to make an impact, whether we hit it or not. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Every single bit of money we raise is going to a great cause.
Yeah.
And we hit it big. Our whole aura about this whole challenge was literally just go big or go home.
Yeah.
And we're doing everything that we can to make sure that happens.
Has there ever been a similar sort of like triathlon the channel, the run, the bike?
I'm sure they're
I'm sure there's been something similar, but we created this route. This is our route. No one's done this route before, as far as we know. We had a look online.
Yeah, I don't think anyone swam the channel during one of these events. I mean, as we talked about, not many people have swam the channel.
No, I mean, you see triathlons and you see people. I don't know what the distances are, but I think it's a 10k swim. On a triathlon, is it?
No,
it's
less. No, it depends. Triathlons come in all different.
There's a multitude.
The longest one you've got is an Ironman. So let's put it into perspective. An Ironman swim is just over 4 kilometres. Is it 4.2 kilometres?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's like the kind of longest one you'll have.
When you're doing 30 odd kilometres, I guess, right?
More than that. About 35, is it? Something 33 around there. It was 21 miles, whatever that is. Yeah.
So it's in the 30 kilometres plus, isn't it? But that's massive achievement if you can complete it. And for a great cause as well. I guess we'll put a link in the description here of where people can donate. If you want to donate, it'd be really appreciated. As little as possible, right?
Exactly.
Any donation's kind enough to go towards a cause, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, wish you the best of luck, guys.
Well, thank you very much.
What date is this going to happen? We haven't got. I know it's a window, isn't it?
Yeah. So we've got the 24th of August to the 2nd September. So any time during that time, we could get a call up at
6 hours notice and say we're going to live stream. But if we get signal out there, we're going to live stream. We're going to do bits of hourly updates and stuff like that throughout the entire challenge. Yeah. And we're probably going to upload that onto the shop account as well, so which is Declan Jacobs Barbering on Instagram. We'll upload everything on there. Yeah. And so if you do want to follow us along the way and show some support, then you can do so through Declan Jacobs Barbering Instagram page.
Nice plug there, Deck.
Yeah.
For those that don't know,
I'm loving it.
For those that don't know as well, Declan's my eldest son. Dylan's one of his best friends. We've known Dylan for a long time. School friends, yeah. He's like an adopted son as well. It seems to be a quick funny story of not long ago when I met you. He comes up to me in the bar and he says, "You want a beer?" And I went, "Yeah, go on, I'll have a beer." And he went, "Okay." And he said, "Do you want a beer?" I went, "Yeah." So he's another mate, Finn, "Do you want a beer?" "Yeah." I said again, "Do you want a beer?" "Yeah." He turned around to me and said, "Can I have your card?" So it is like having another son.
We'll drain that back.
But yeah, it's if you can donate, that'd be great. We really would appreciate it. And they're doing it for a great cause. Massive achievement for what they can do. I mean, just think of the distance. What's the overall distance?
200,
150,
271.
271.
Yeah.
That's 271 miles. Scan something. But yeah, if you can donate to that, that'd be great. Anyway, there you go. So they can keep in touch as well. Do you have a website or anything like that? Or?
Yeah, so we have the Tri Ultra Relay website, so that's where you can find more information about what we're doing, and then it has a link to all our socials on there. I'm sure we'll put a link in the description for that as well.
Yeah, defo. Yeah, brilliant. There you go. Do whatever you can, support the cause, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.